problem?
It's so quiet.
I'm so demure, that's why. We good to go? Oh, okay. Don't make me come up there, things? For the delay, getting used to a new space. Appreciate that, my apologies. Good morning, and today is Tuesday, December 16th at 9:22 and a half in the morning. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Welcome to LA on this delightfully rainy day. That's all I'm saying, no but. I'm just happy for the rain. Are you listening, George? I want to give my thank you to Metropolitan for the use of this room. We really do appreciate it, and we're glad we're able to come down here for 2 days for some important issues that we'll get to in just a moment. Let me start by introducing my fellow board members. I am Felicia Marcus, chair of the board. To my right is Vice Chair Fran Spivey Weber. To her right, board member Stephen Moore. To my left, board member Tam Dodak. And to her left, board member Didi D. Adamo. Mr. Howard, will you introduce the staff that's assisting?
Thank you. To my right, Chief Counsel Michael Laufer. To his right, John Bishop, Chief Deputy. And to his right is Karen Turgovich, Chief Deputy. And we're being assisted today by Janine Townsend and Courtney Davis and technical assistance from Metropolitan Water District. Thank you.
Great. And then on the other side, are they going to get to introduce themselves later? You'll introduce yourselves, you august body of able staff members. All right, is the meeting being webcast?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and recorded. So please speak into the microphone when you come up. It's probably one of those you have to get kind of close to, but we'll do it by trial and error. Also, please turn off or set on stun or silence any electronic devices that beep or make noises or ring or anything, just out of courtesy to everybody else. With that, we're on to public forum. Let me just say a couple things before we hit public forum, actually. We have a very healthy agenda today, and we'll try and get through it. And we will take some kind of a mid-morning break, especially since you can't bring liquids in here. We'll make a mid-morning break for caffeination and hydration over there. And we will, depending upon where we are in the agenda, we will take some sort of a lunch break. It may not be a long one, but we'll wait and see where we seem to be in the number of cards that we have, particularly for the large item we have coming up today, and we'll see. Have I forgotten anything? Okay. Well, let's get started. Good to be here in LA. With that, our first item is always public forum, where folks can talk about a matter for a few minutes that's not pending before the board. And we have a few cards on public forum. Oh, there we are. We have 4 cards. First, I have Tom Ford, Executive Director of the Santa Monica Bay Restoration Commission, followed by Samuel Sukutan from the Sierra Club.
All right. Oh, and it's working. Fantastic.
Good.
Good morning. Really, I'm here in a way of introduction and gratitude. First, I'm Tom Ford. I'm the new Executive Director of the Santa Monica Bay Restoration Commission.
Oh, welcome.
Thank you so much, Felicia. And I'm here to remind yourselves and perhaps many of the members of the audience that the State Water Board has been a very strong partner of ours over the years, trying to attain our mutual benefits to protect the water quality and the living resources and the public health and the socioeconomic interests surrounding the Santa Monica Bay and its waters. And specifically, we've been very interested in trying to reduce pollution ourselves. It's much our charge through our federal funding as well as our state responsibilities. And since 2009, we've awarded about $17 million in grants to help reduce the pollutants reaching our surface waters. And amongst some of the completed and ongoing projects that we have, about 14 green infrastructure and LID programs that are helping local municipalities achieve reductions in their pollution getting to our surface waters, and also trying to really help gain technical understanding as to the results of these projects and how they're moving forward. I think one of our standout ones recently was done with the City of Los Angeles. It's the West Side Park Rainwater Irrigation Project. So it was an abandoned lot. It's now a park. It has a playground. It is capturing, treating, infiltrating upwards of 2.6 million gallons of water a day. So we're certainly showing that, yes, there's many opportunities here, and folks that we've been working with have been doing a great job getting some of these projects done.
That's good. Where is it exactly?
It is...
Good to go by.
It is, oh, I'm going to forget exactly the corner, but it's approaching Culver City in West LA. But we will get that information to you as to its exact location.
Yeah.
And one of the other ones that I was very interested in was a pilot project that we helped support this year with the City of Santa Monica, where instead of just looking at the surface of our environment and trying to make it pervious, looking at all that infrastructure that's in the ground. So we thought that maybe we could make the pipes permeable, the actual storm drain pipes themselves permeable. The infiltration rates in the City of Santa Monica led to very little opportunity for that. So then we went vertical through some of the catch basins, and now we have 2 of these installed. They're working great. The trash is screened out, and then the overage goes down into these tunnels, and that water is infiltrated. So we'll continue to follow that with the City of Santa Monica as those things develop. So those are just a few of the things that we've got going on. Again, very nice to meet you all, and look forward to the proceedings today.
You press that. Nope, that one on the far right, that one.
I wanted to thank Tom. I am on the Santa Monica Bay Restoration Commission for the secretary, and we're having a meeting on Thursday. So if you have any comments to make to Tom or to the commission, let me know. Thank you, Tom.
Great. Next, Samuel Sukaton from the Sierra Club, followed by Tom Williams, also from the Sierra Club.
Madam Chair, my compliments on getting my last name right. It's a difficult one. Good morning. Thank you for coming down to Southern California. Again, my name is Sam Sukaton. I'm with Sierra Club California. And I'm speaking about an issue that hasn't yet come before you, but would probably benefit from some guidance from the board to your staff. Sorry, I'm just going to put my comments up so I don't look down all the way. So DOGGR, the Department of Oil, Gas, and Geothermal Resources, and the State Water Resources Control Board will be, over the first few months of 2015, be updating a memorandum of understanding regarding underground injection control permitting. This is independent of the SB4 work. Given the growing concern about the environmental and public health impacts of oil drilling, extreme methods associated with drilling and oil extraction, and the methods employed in disposal of waste associated with these procedures, it's really important that the MOU be structured to address these new practices. Additionally, there has to be some certainty that the MOU is protective and enforced. In the past, DOGGR hasn't complied with the existing UIC Memorandum of Understanding and hasn't been reporting some required information to this board. Consequently, those of us at the Sierra Club that are following this are looking forward to making sure the updated MOU is structured to retain all the Water Board's authority to require certain information to be provided in the permitting process and to ensure the board can play an active role in injection well permitting. It's also important that this memorandum be developed in as transparent a process as possible. There should be a lot of opportunity for public comment, folks coming from all over the state. Again, thank you for using this space and coming down to Los Angeles. And we're hoping that the public and board members and staff can review the updated MOU and submit comments before it's actually signed. So speaking for the club, we're asking that you ensure that a draft UIC MOU be brought to this board for review and public comment for at least a month before it's finalized. Again, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for coming down to LA, and all the blessings of the season to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. You too. Dr. Tom Williams, followed by Tatiana Gower from the Waterkeeper.
Good morning, Dr. Tom Williams, Sierra Club Water Committee, and a few others. 2 basic elements. We're now having rain. That sounds great. And tomorrow there will be some discussion regarding drought. Are we in a drought or are we in a climate change? What's the average rainfall going to be? How is the Water Board considering climate change, or I prefer global warming? Even today's storm is coming from the south. not really from the north. So we have a basic issue that we're considering right now in the steering committee for floodplain management in LA City. Enhanced watershed management. It all goes back to how much water we're going to get. Who is, you might say, making estimates? NOAA's making estimates as to, is it climate change or global warming? Lawrence Livermore Radiation, our national labs, is making models. All seem to indicate, expect less water. So that's one issue. The other issue is, we're talking about recharge recycled water, recharge captured stormwater. Who owns it? Who will be responsible for it? Because we have the situation in San Fernando Valley, but more importantly, we have the water replenishment district. Is any water that I personally, I'm going for zero discharge from my 13,000 square feet. And we've pretty well achieved it. 10 cubic yards of mulch a year is put on to 13,000 square feet. So we're looking at zero. However, we still have to pay the stormwater fees to somebody, i.e. the county. But the eventual thing is, all of the water that I put underground, do I own it? Or does the county own it? Does the Water Replenishment District own it? Does DWP own it? Who is responsible for that property, subsurface property? Thank you.
Thank you. Those are all interesting questions. Thanks for raising them. We're going to have to answer them. Tatiana Gower.
Good morning, Chair Marcus and members of the board. This is Tatiana Gar with Los Angeles Waterkeeper. I'm here to address very briefly the SB4 Memoranda of Understanding that you're about to sign. It's not officially on the agenda, and we just learned about it late last week. So as you know, and some of you have seen me and our executive director, we have been following fracking issues and SB4 implementation over the last over the last year for SB4, but fracking over the last several years. And we have recently participated this summer in a state board workshop on groundwater monitoring here in Los Angeles. We're concerned that the memorandum of agreement was not made public until very late, so we couldn't really provide comments. There was very short opportunity for us to review, and really the purpose of us providing comments is to make it better, considering how important fracking is and how it has a real potential to impact our water resources. In light of the planned amendments of the UIC Memorandum of Understanding, I'm sorry, I get always confused, Memorandum of Agreement, which is from 1988, we asked that the board, first of all, get to it as quickly as possible, and second of all, give us really an opportunity to comment, engage the public so we can help with making the protection of our water resources better. So as for the current MOA, the SB4 MOA, upon review, we think it should provide more time to review applications for well stimulation treatment permits to fully evaluate all potential water quality impacts. 14-day period that's provided in section 3A3 is not enough. In addition, any such period should be triggered by the state board and regional boards' determination that permit applications are complete, not by DOGR's determination. Right now, the way the memorandum of agreement reads is that it could be either or, and whatever comes earlier, which we just think with the load on state and regional boards is not enough for them to review and provide meaningful comments, and also to request additional information which they may need from the applicant for WST permits. The second major comment, and again, I've had very short time to review, is the timely exchange of info a potential and actual pollution related to well simulation treatment. That's under the section on enforcement coordination, and currently the exchange of information, there's no timeline, there's no real deadline, it just reads as soon as practicable, which is very vague, and will basically render, in our view, enforcement coordination kind of meaningless, or not as meaningful as it should be. And we ask that the MOA be revised so that exchange of information and notification from Dogger to the water boards upon discovery of any information that pollution may have occurred or there's a potential for pollution occurring, to this exchange to occur within 3 days or some similarly short period. 7 days would be fine. We really need to protect our water resources, and we think that it's the job of the State Water Board to drive this process through the memorandum of agreement. Thank you so much.
No, and thank you for taking a look at it. We'll obviously consider what to do. Thank you all. Appreciate it. All right. Next, minutes from December 2nd and 3rd board meeting. Do you have a motion?
There.
I move approval.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. The minutes are approved. Mr. Howard, item number 2, please.
Thank you. Item number 2 is a amendment to the basin plan to revise water quality objectives in the TMDL for chloride in the upper Santa Clara River watershed. And Jenny Newman will be presenting this item.
Good morning, Chair Marcus and State Board members. My name is Jenny Newman with the Los Angeles Water Board. Also here today is Celine Gallen, who is the staff lead for the Basin Plan Amendment before you. The Basin Plan Amendment would do a couple of things, several things. It first revises the upper Santa Clara River chloride TMDL. It revises chloride water quality objectives for the reaches of the upper Santa Clara River to incorporate an averaging period that previously did not exist. And it also incorporates new conditional site-specific objectives in 2 of the reaches in the upper Santa Clara River. I have a brief presentation that should take about 5 to 10 minutes that I can go over, or I can skip to the end and review comments and responses if you're interested in that.
I think it'd be nice to go through it,
Okay.
if you don't mind.
No, not at all.
Just for the people, I'm always thinking about the people who are watching and listening, so.
Okay. I'll go over a little background first. This map shows the Santa Clara River, and specifically the upper Santa Clara River. The Santa Clara River is located in the northern portion of the Los Angeles region and runs through Los Angeles County and then Ventura County. This slide shows the upper Santa Clara River going from upstream to downstream are reaches 6, 5, 4B, and 4A. Because of high levels of chloride in reaches 5 and 6, these reaches were placed on the Clean Water Act Section 303D list for chloride impairments. The major sources of chloride to these reaches of the river are the Saugus and Valencia water reclamation plants, which are located in Reach 6 and 5, respectively. Both facilities are owned and operated by the Santa Clarita Valley Sanitation District. The water quality objective for these 4 reaches is 100 milligrams per liter at all times. It's based on background water quality as well as water quality necessary to protect salt-sensitive agricultural uses such as avocados and strawberries. It's not presently attained, and I think they have a little, that's the objective. It's an instantaneous maximum. And it's not presently attained, and this little graph shows chloride concentrations in the effluent of the Valencia and Saugus water reclamation plants over the last 10 years. As you can see, concentrations have decreased largely due to a a ban on water softeners in the area by the district in Santa Clarita Valley. However, they still do not attain the 100 milligram per liter objective, nor have they attained it for several decades. This slide shows the long history of the TMDL. It was originally adopted in 2002. The state board remanded it to the regional board and directed the regional board to do additional study in conjunction with stakeholders, which they did. And based on those studies, the TMDL was revised several times, most recently in 2008. However, the board of the Santa Clarita Valley Sanitation District did not vote to approve funding that would implement the TMDL, and so the district fell behind on some implementation tasks, and as a result, the regional board issued some enforcement actions. As a result of those enforcement actions, the sanitation district, in compliance with the settlement agreement, adopted a final facilities plan and environmental impact report that would comply with the TMDL in October 2013. And in July 2014, the district voted to approve the rate increases that would fund the plan. In order to reduce the cost of the plan and to provide adequate time to comply with the TMDL, which currently has a schedule of May 2015, the Santa Clarita Valley Sanitation District made the following requests of the regional board. And well, first, the first request was because the project that was chosen in the facilities plan would not be completed by the current TMDL deadline, they request an extension to July 2019 to allow time for permitting, design, and construction. Second, they requested that the 100 milligram per liter water quality objective and waste load allocation in the TMDL have a 3-month averaging period instead of the current instantaneous maximum. And third, they requested that the waste load allocations for both plants be expressed as a combined flow-weighted average of the effluent concentrations for the plants. This adjustment would remove the need for Saugus, for treatment to be built at Saugus, or alternatively for a pipeline to be built to carry treated wastewater from Valencia to Saugus. So in order to accommodate these requests and facilitate the district's implementation of the TMDL, the regional board adopted basin plan amendments in October of this year, and that's what's before you today. The first revision was the regional board adopted a 3-month averaging period for the water quality objective, and the 3-month averaging period was supported by one of the studies conducted under the TMDL, the literature review and evaluation. The averaging period will protect the most salt-sensitive agricultural uses as well as all the other beneficial uses in the watershed. Second, the regional board adopted site-specific objectives and waste load allocations that would allow the district to average the discharge concentration between the two plants so that they would not need to do treatment at the Saugus facility or pump treated wastewater upstream. The revisions include a 150 milligram per liter site-specific objective in Reach 6, where the Saugus plant is located, and in Reach 5, just above where the Valencia plant discharges. The Valencia plant is then assigned a variable waste load allocation less than the objective of 100 milligrams per liter to compensate for the Saugus discharge up to 150, so that when the effluent streams combine downstream from Valencia plant, they will meet the 100 milligram per liter objective. Modeling and studies showed that this scenario, there are no salt-sensitive uses in Reach 6 or Reach 5 upstream of the Valencia plant, so we could have a higher objective there, and modeling showed that it would have minimal impact on surface water and groundwater. The TMDL revisions contain language for NPDES permit requirements to ensure that this approach achieves water quality objectives, and it also requires the district to participate in the salt and nutrient management plan or other efforts to reduce any potential impacts of this flow weighting scenario on the underlying groundwater basins. Okay, and then the last revision is the schedule extension. The sanitation district submitted a schedule extension justification report, which explains the reasons for the extension and includes examples of other completed county sanitation district projects that had similar schedules. So the regional board approved the schedule extension and included several interim milestones at 1 to 10 month intervals with concrete enforceable deliverables, so that if the sanitation districts ever fell off track again, they would be held accountable and could come back into compliance. So the state board received 9 comment letters on the proposed amendment. Letters from Santa Clarita Valley Sanitation District, California Assembly Member Scott Wilk, California Senator Fran Pavley, the Castaic Lake Water Agency, and the Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce were in support of the proposed amendments. 3 letters were opposed. The comments in opposition were outside the scope of the hearing for the reasons on the slide. Either they previously made the comment before the Los Angeles Water Board and then didn't explain why the Water Board didn't respond adequately, or they did not timely raise their comment before the Los Angeles Water Board and did not explain why they didn't have the opportunity to do so, or the comment was outside the scope of the Los Angeles Water Board's action. Staff responded to the comments, and the draft responses are posted on the website and are available in the room. And I'll just go over a couple of the comments that were responded to. One of the comments was that the water quality objective of 100 milligrams per liter was too low, but staff responded that this issue has already been thoroughly vetted through an open stakeholder process and several regional and state board review processes, and was held up by both those boards several times. And then there was a comment that the proposed schedule extension was too long, and staff responded that while it's long, it is justified by the schedule extension justification report, and so staff recommends that the state board approve that as well. So that concludes my presentation. Staff recommends approval of the amendments, and we're available for questions if you have any now or after the other speakers.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions to start? All right, let's get right into the comments. Thanks very much. We're going with 5 minutes or 3 minutes? 5 minutes. Yeah, I think we may have to do 3 in the bigger hearing, but I think we'll go with 5. We've got a fair number of comments, but
you want it to 3?
Let's go with 5, just
5, okay.
On it because it's a decision.
Okay.
First, we have Andre Hollings, field rep in the office of Assemblyman Scott Wilk.
On behalf of State Assemblyman Scott Wilk, I would like to thank the Regional Water Board for this moment to speak on what is arguably the most critical issue facing the Santa Clarita Valley. And on behalf of Assemblyman Wilk, I have the following comments, quote, "Thank you for the opportunity to testify on the proposed amendments to the chloride TMDL for the Upper Santa Clara River and the Basin Plan. I strongly support these amendments. Protecting water quality in the Santa Clara River is important to us all. The proposed changes before you today are necessary to ensure that the Santa Clarita Valley can comply with the chloride TMDL for the Upper Santa Clara River to achieve water quality goals. I commend the Santa Clarita Sanitation District for their 2 years of extensive public engagement, including numerous public and stakeholder meetings and public hearings to address people's questions and concerns and to gather public input. The district has worked very hard to develop a compliance project that has strong support in the Santa Clarita Valley. In June 2013, I hosted a town hall meeting alongside the Santa Clarita Sanitation District to discuss the environmental impact report on chloride and its effect on the Santa Clarita Valley. The Santa Clarita Valley has made extraordinary efforts to comply with the state's chloride requirements, and I am very proud of the results. They did something that no other community in the country has done. They agreed to remove over 8,000 residential water softeners, reducing chloride levels at the source. This was a lot to ask of our residents, but they stepped up and went along with this precedent-setting step to lower the chloride content of water going into the Santa Clara River. This initiative helped a lot, but by itself was not enough to allow the sanitation district to comply with the TMDL's strict chloride limits, especially during drought. I ask for your support in approving the requested changes and for extension of the schedule to provide the time necessary for the Santa Clarita Valley Sanitation District to construct the new advanced treatment facilities needed to further reduce chloride levels in the Santa Clara River. I am also very pleased to share with you that a collaborative effort is now moving forward in the Santa Clarita Valley between water agencies, the Santa Clarita Valley Sanitation District, the business community, and other stakeholders who make smart use of recycled water to develop increased local water sustainability in the Santa Clarita Valley. Thank you for your time. I urge you to adopt these changes to the TMDL and Basin Plan. On behalf of Assemblyman Wilk, thank you for this important opportunity.
Thank you very much. Next we have Laureen West, or Westy, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it, City of Santa Clarita Council Member and Director, Santa Clara Valley Sanitation District, followed by Kara Seward. Well, I should always do the electeds first, but hopefully you don't mind. Kara.
Good morning.
Okay, good. Thank you. Hi.
It's Lorraine West. Thank you very much. Thank you for acknowledging. I am Lorraine West, council member and the immediate past mayor of 2014 for the city of Santa Clarita and a director of the Santa Clarita Valley Sanitation District. And on behalf of the Santa Clarita Sanitation District, I extend my deepest thanks to the regional board and your staff and to the state board staff for their hard work and diligence in helping us move forward with our chloride TMDL compliance efforts. I'm here to speak in strong support of approval of the proposed basin plan amendments and to revise the chloride objectives and the TMDL in the upper Santa Clara River. The Santa Clarita Valley Sanitation District has made major progress towards compliance by approving the chloride compliance project last year and approving a rate increase for the project earlier this year. The proposed basin plan amendments will give Santa Clarita Valley Sanitation District the time it needs to construct the advanced treatment facilities and will make adjustments in how the district averages chloride discharge measurements. We are committed to the highest possible water quality. The Santa Clarita Valley has been committed to complying with the chloride TMDL and to achieving the highest possible water quality for the upper Santa Clara River. This is why we elected to include ultraviolet disinfection in the compliance project at additional cost, but because UV minimizes many different disinfection byproducts, including trihalomethanes and haloacetic acid, in addition to the chloride, it will provide the highest possible water quality. We are moving as quickly as possible to complete our chloride compliance project, and if we could do it any more quickly, we would. We are working closely with the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, and we have already started the necessary planning and engineering required. We are committed to long-term water sustainability for our valley. The Santa Clarita Valley community has invested tremendous time and effort to attain regional water quality goals, including legislative, enforcement, scientific, and engineering and planning efforts. We recognize the very serious impacts of the ongoing drought and diminishing water supplies in our state. The district wants to maximize the use of recycled water in the valley to boost local water supplies, and we are collaborating with the business community, and we are collaborating with water agencies and others to develop long-term water sustainability through a holistic approach to the water in the Santa Clarita Valley. The Santa Cruz Valley Sanitation District continues to be deeply committed to public engagement and the education. Over the last 4 years, we have held over 40 public informational meetings, met with nearly 30 different stakeholder groups, and held 10 public hearings to gather public input. Every person who called the sanitation district was able to speak directly with a staff person to get their questions answered. No community has done more than the city of Santa Cruz to achieve chloride source control in America. We set a national model through an unprecedented self-regenerating saltwater softener removal program. Santa Cruz had to ask the legislature to change state law to just allow us to remove residential self-regenerating saltwater softeners. The legislature passed this bill with unanimous approval. We had to adopt 2 citywide ordinances to stop new self-regenerating saltwater softener installations, and to remove them, we had to go to city voters for their approval, which we received in 2008 with a 2-to-1 vote. Then we worked with the homeowners to remove self-regenerating saltwater softeners. I am very proud of the result. To date, we have seen the removal of over 8,100 self-regenerating saltwater softeners in our valley. This lowered the chloride levels in our recycled wastewater by 55 milligrams per liter. So today, I ask for your approval of the Basin Plan amendments so that we can now move forward both with our chloride compliance project and our vitally needed efforts to use our recycled water to help develop a long-term water sustainability. And I want to thank you very much, you and your staff, for allowing us to speak with you and work effectively through our planning process. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, Kara Seward, thank you very much, followed by Alan Cameron.
Good morning, Chair Marcus and board members. Thank you for the opportunity to speak on behalf of State Senator Fran Pavley. She has a unique perspective of representing both the communities of the upper Santa Clara River as well as those downstream, and believes the stakeholders involved have identified the best possible resolution to addressing this issue. I would like to read a portion of Senator Pavley's letter in support of the amendments submitted in full to the board on November 21st. I strongly support the approval of amendments to the Water Quality Control Plan for the Los Angeles Region Basin Plan to revise the upper Santa Clara River chloride total maximum daily load and to revise water quality objectives for chloride in the upper Santa Clara River. The amendments to the Basin Plan will play a critical role in local water sustainability for the Santa Clara River watershed and provide multiple benefits to residents, businesses, and to the environmental and economic health of the Santa Clarita Valley. Business, industry, and water leaders in the Santa Clarita Valley are working together to maximize efficient use of the Santa Clarita Valley's water resources. I am greatly encouraged by the progress made towards implementation of the Upper Santa Clara River Chloride TMDL and believe that the water to be produced through the Santa Clarita Valley Sanitation District's advanced treatment processes will also be used for recycled water projects currently being studied in partnership with our local water agencies. Again, Senator Pavley supports the approval of the amendments, and thank you for your time and comments.
Good morning, and thank you for coming to Southern California.
Thank you, Mr. Cameron. I'm sorry, sometimes I have to work on the management of this, so no disrespect intended. Go ahead.
I fully understand. That's part of the position.
Right, and you have 5 minutes.
In addition, I had requested in writing some time ago 10, but in addition to that...
We just have a hefty agenda, so everybody's going to get 5. A lot of people have asked for 10.
Thank you. The president of the Los Angeles County Castaic Area-Wide Town Council, a man named Flo Lawrence, submitted written comments before the deadline and planned to be here today, but unfortunately he's ill. And he asked that his time be given to me to summarize his remarks.
Oh, that's what that meant. You know, I'd rather, if you, I'm going to give you like 7, but we really, generally we found that you actually can make your point in 3 of what we need to be paying attention to, and that the most effective ones are short. So why not, I'm going to go to 7 or 8.
All
Give
right.
them 8.
Thank you.
That's all right.
Barring a facial muscle spasm, I could probably get it done in 3, but it would be
Yeah, that would be awkward.
largely
So,
unintelligible.
Yeah. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you very much. And why don't you say this, is Michael Laufer here today?
Yes.
Mr. Laufer, I don't know if you have a fan club, but
He does.
If you don't have one, I'll form one. And it's a pleasure to meet you face to face, even if it's at a distance. It's an extraordinary person.
I know.
On behalf of the Affordable Clean Water Alliance, we absolutely do support the extension of time regarding the issue of chloride compliance. There's no question that is the civilized and technically appropriate solution available. The next question is, however, what full use for the benefit of the Santa Clara River watershed can be made with that additional approximate 5 years worth of time? There is a lot that is constructive that can be done with that time. Number one, there is an unknown quantity of remaining salt regenerating water softeners in use in the watershed. Interestingly enough, there's sort of a relaxed secondary schedule about removing them. That does not have to remain. You can mandate that a time-specific, objective-specific removal program be implemented so that the chloride contribution of those devices can be effectuated. There's no reason to let them continue. A precise timetable for the survey and removal of those is highly appropriate during this additional time. At the hearing on this item for the Los Angeles Regional Water Quality Control Board, an interesting fact came to light, and that is the beneficial users in the lower Santa Clara River Valley have indicated they have damage to their crops from chloride level. The challenge is they have absolutely no proof that any such damage exists. And the lack of that proof is rather striking. The tertiary treated sewage water from the Santa Cruz Valley has been going downstream for nearly 50 years. Now, in all of that time, there were multiple opportunities for administrative requests for relief to be filed and diligently pursued. A very thorough study of the public record indicates that has never happened. Equally interesting is that when you are damaged in our very litigious society, a common remedy is to go to court and sue to recover what you've lost. Now, in the nearly 50 years that this discharge of chloride into the Santa Clara has been occurring, fascinating, not anecdotal, but evidentiary proof of damage is how many litigation episodes have there been where downstream beneficial users said, I had 100 bushels I knew I could have. I want compensation because I lost 30 of those. Pay me. In nearly 50 years, how many litigations seeking that kind of compensation have ever occurred? And the answer, as far as the public record seems to indicate, is 0. Now, that's a fascinating statistic because the assertion is we're damaged, we're suffering, we're a victim, we're having a problem. Well, in 50 years, you would think that someone would go to court and say, I have a problem, I've been damaged, I want to be paid for my loss. But, you know, candidly, there's a reason why that hasn't happened, and that is when you go to court, you have to bring proof, and that has been lacking. Now, the reason I mention that is now, during this extended period of time that is part of this action before you, you can begin to address the truth. You can study the Santa Clara River, which has never been done objectively. You'll hear conflicting information about that, but I beg you to investigate the issue for yourself and say, according to an objective, thorough evaluation of the chloride characteristics in the Santa Clara River occurring naturally, has there indeed been a study that would validate what those conditions are? And the answer is no. There isn't. Now's the opportunity to do that. You have the new groundwater franchise available to you, and I don't know what it means. I think you probably know somewhat better than I do what it means. But it is an extraordinary opportunity and an obligation. And that is another extraordinary opportunity to benefit from during this extended period of time, because the safe yield of the Saugus Aquifer has never been fully studied and determined. The last time any study of the safe yield of the Saugus Aquifer was done was 25 years ago, and it was a sketchy, abbreviated study. So you have an opportunity to mandate the safe yield of the Saugus. Now, why should you do that in conjunction with this agenda item? Because in the middle of the vast paperwork before you is a commitment to give away that Saugus Aquifer water for free outside the service area of the Santa Clarita Valley to the so-called impaired downstream users. Now, before you can give something away, it would be helpful to know if you can afford the donation. All the water in the Santa Clarita Valley, including the perspiration from the athletes at College of the Canyons, has been allocated to supply water supply for new development. 2 general plans are predicated on full usage of all that water. So there isn't any surplus, theoretically or practically available, to give to anybody for any reason. But there is this item in your packet before you that says under circumstances that could arise that a free donation of Saugus Aquifer water will indeed take place. How that would occur is an interesting question. But to conclude on that one specific point, if you mandate a thorough characterization of the safe yield of the Saugus Aquifer, you will be providing the long-term growth potential and environmental stewardship of the Santa Clarita Valley a tremendous benefit. The next item is there's a CEQA determination as part of this, and the CEQA determination that is before you is to continue a 6-year-old CEQA exemption. Now, for anyone who believes that there is not damage to the downstream users from the chloride levels historically found in the Santa Clara, that CEQA determination is very supportive, because what it says essentially is we're going to allow that chloride level to continue on as it's been for another 5 years. And our assessment of its effect on the environment is so minimal that it is not going to have a mitigated negative declaration. It's not going to have an initial study. It's going to have a continuation of an old categorical exemption. So there's no study at all on the effects of the environment of allowing the chloride levels as they are today to pretty much essentially continue on for another 5 years. Now, frankly, a CEQA determination more rigorous than an exemption is probably appropriate for this. All the timelines that you've heard about how to comply with this, am I supposed to take a call, or is that 7 minutes? Thank you. I'll summarize in about 10, 15 seconds. The effect on the timeline of the test claim litigation currently in the courts between the sanitation district needs to be accommodated and understood and factored into the timeline. The effect of the Affordable Clean Water Alliance lawsuit against the adequacy of the sanitation district environmental document needs to be factored in. It has not. The fines that are often talked about turned out not to have been levied by the board, but by a commitment from staff members. And lastly, former Assemblyman Cameron Smythe attempted to unify and stabilize chloride TMDLs all throughout California. He was unsuccessful in that attempt. His opponents were the farmers of California, who in most areas either have very high TMDLs for chloride or no limit at all. Thank you for the time.
Next we have Phil Freese and Grace Hyde, Santa Clara Valley Sanitation District. I understand there's a PowerPoint. You're going to forego that. Okay. Hi. Good morning.
Hi,
Can you
good
do
morning,
5
Chair.
minutes?
Pardon me?
You asked for 10, but I'm going to give you guys 5 as well.
We can, and I believe we can forego the PowerPoint based on your sound advice, but we'll revisit that at the end. I just have some brief introductory remarks. Good morning, Chair Marcus and board members. My name is Grace Hyde. I'm the Chief Engineer and General Manager of the Los Angeles County Sanitation Districts, and I'm very pleased to be here to represent the Santa Clarita Valley Sanitation Districts as we move forward with a compliance project for the chloride TMDL. Last October, the board approved a compliance project following an extensive public outreach and involvement process. And this past summer, they approved a rate package that provides full funding for the project. So now we're moving full speed ahead with engineering design, with permitting with US EPA, and our goal is really to implement this project in the shortest time possible. We're very proud of the project. We believe it provides outstanding water quality benefits for the region in producing high-quality purified water and improved tertiary treated water, offering new opportunities for local sustainable water supply projects with our water partners. Councilmember West mentioned our very successful water softener removal program, so I won't go over that. But that very successful program, in combination with the compliance project, the end result is a very optimized compliance approach that protects all designated beneficial uses of the river, including groundwater recharge and drinking water uses, aquatic habitat, and salt-sensitive agriculture water supply. And we believe this approach will be an asset to the valley going forward as they move forward with a holistic, long-term approach to water quality and water supply issues. I do want to personally thank the regional board members and the regional board staff that met with our stakeholders and our board. And so we respectfully seek your approval of the amendments today. And as I mentioned, we do have a PowerPoint, but we're happy to forego that in the interest of time if you'd like.
Thank you, if that's all right, just because I keep getting more cards, so there
Sure.
are more than we
Sure.
started with.
Sure.
So, but there may be questions, but we can I put myself in there. We may ask you back to answer questions at some point.
All right, we do have staff here as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining. And what I forgot to say before, all of you who are standing, I'm always the person who likes to stand in the back of the room, but the rules in this facility are that you can't do that. So find a seat, please. Okay. Sorry, hate to be the cop there, but at least I don't have to do the emergency evacuation announcement like I do in the other building. There's always something. Next we have Mark Gray of the BIA of Southern California, followed by Alyssa Curran.
Good morning, Chair Marcus and members of the board. My name is Mark Gray, and I'm the Director of Environmental Affairs for the Building Industry Association of Southern California and serve as the Technical Director for the Construction Industry Coalition on Water Quality. And I'm here today on behalf of our membership working in the Santa Clarita Valley and on this specific basin plan amendment. And we have, as I said, have a number of members working on this issue, and we just want to voice our support for approval of the amendment today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. See, that was brief. I understood it. So, no, kidding. Please feel free to make your points. Hi, Alyssa. I don't know if it's Alyssa or Elisa.
Alyssa.
Alyssa, followed by Dr. Cindy Lin from US EPA.
Good morning, Madam Chairman and members of the board. My name is Alyssa Curran, and I am representing the Valley Industry Association, a business organization with approximately 300 members within the Santa Clarita Valley. The Valley Industry Association supports the Santa Clarita Valley's sanitation district's efforts to comply with chloride TMDL and strongly supports the Basin Plan amendments, which are needed to ensure that the Santa Clarita Valley can meet the compliance requirements, including extension of the construction schedule. On behalf of the Valley Industry Association, I thank the Los Angeles Regional Water Board for their assistance and responsiveness to the concerns of the business community. The dialogue has been very helpful, and we look forward to continuing to work with the Regional Board as we work to realize our goal of managing the Santa Clarita Valley's water resources in a way that helps us develop long-term local water sustainability. The Valley Industry Association is very committed to changing the way water is managed in the Santa Clarita Valley and to making the best use possible of high-quality recycled water. We are a founding member of SCV One Water and are collaborating with the Santa Clarita Valley Sanitation District, Castaic Lake Water Agency, the City of Santa Clarita, business leaders, and other stakeholders to make this possible. As a member of SCV One Water, we understand the importance of working with the regional board and for the water agencies to collaborate to realize our goals. We applaud the Santa Clarita Valley Sanitation District for its extensive stakeholder and public outreach over the last 3 years, and the district's efforts to provide excellent communication materials that clearly explained the choices and the complex issues related to complying with the chloride TMDL. The Valley Industry Association participated in this extensive stakeholder and community engagement process conducted by the Santa Clarita Valley Sanitation District, and we support the district's efforts to control project costs and to move forward as quickly as possible to comply with the chloride TMDL. The Valley Industry strongly supports the Basin Plan amendments, an extension of the construction schedule, and respectfully requests your approval of the proposed Basin Plan amendments and the extension of the construction schedule. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Dr. Lynn, nice to see you. Followed by Dan Masnada, General Manager, Castaic Lake Water Agency.
Good morning, Chair Marcus and members of the board. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. My name is Cindy Lin, and I'm here representing U.S. EPA Region 9. I'm also your Region 9 TMDL coordinator, and I'm happy here to speak on this Basin Plan amendment. We reviewed the TMDL and have followed the Los Angeles Regional Board's actions on this TMDL over the years. I'd like to commend the LA Regional Board and the stakeholders' efforts on working to find creative solutions to meet the water quality objectives for this Basin Plan. In addition, we'd like to recognize the LA Regional Water Board's continuous review and TMDL compliance evaluation over the years, leading to a couple of notice of violations, and that was very helpful. This current revised TMDL is an improvement over the 2008 TMDL. It appropriately updates the targets, reflects the special studies that's been done over the years, in particular the last few years, as it's related to the surface groundwater impacts, and also provides more assurances to addressing the beneficial uses. It also provides a very creative approach, as I mentioned, to tightening of targets and sensitive reaches, and also providing adjustable conditional site-specific objectives based on a shorter averaging period to accommodate for critical conditions. The requested extension to July 2019 is reasonable. It provides a detailed plan of actions and very detailed interim milestones, with a detailed monitoring plan included to assure compliance. In conclusion, EPA strongly recommends the board to adopt the revised Upper Santa Clara River TMDL today. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Dan Masnada, followed by Holly Schroeder.
Good morning, Chair Marcus, members of the board. I'm Dan Masnada, General Manager of the Castaic Lake Water Agency. We're a regional water supplier for the Santa Clarita Valley. We're also one of 29, along with Metropolitan Water District, one of 29 state water project contractors, although much smaller than Metropolitan, of course. Recycled, pardon me?
Everyone is.
That's right. By at least a factor of 2, if not more.
I think across the country everyone is. Maybe the Florida Water District, but I don't know.
But in any event, the Santa Clarita Valley is approximately 60% built out. You know, the agency plays a critical role in bringing in water supplies in addition to its local supplies to meet not just current growth, but our projected future growth. Recycled water is an important element of our capital improvement program moving forward. As a matter of fact, it's the single largest element, representing about $200 million expenditures over future years. The proposed amendments by the Sanitation District are strongly supported by the agency board. It will help us realize our recycled water objectives. And also, as a director of the Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce, representing approximately more than 1,000 businesses, I've been asked by the president of the chamber to express its full support of the proposed amendments. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Holly Schroeder, Santa Clara Valley, I'm assuming it's Economic Development Commission?
Corporation, you're correct.
Corporation? Sorry, give me an acronym, I just have to guess. And then followed by Jean Duarte.
Members of the board, thank you for the opportunity to speak to you this morning. I'm Holly Schroeder with the Santa Clarita Valley Economic Development Corporation, and I'm here to express our support for the Sanitation District's efforts to comply with the TMDL and for the Basin Plan amendments that are before you today, including the extension of the construction schedule. We look forward to our continued working relationship with the regional board as we work towards improving and increasing Santa Clarita Valley's water resources that makes us to have long-term water sustainability. The businesses in the Santa Clarita Valley are taking their water management responsibilities very seriously, and this issue has really brought the business community together to increase our awareness of our needs for long-term water sustainability. The community has already taken significant steps to reduce its chloride discharges, as you've heard from Councilmember West. We approved a self-imposed ban on self-regenerating salt water softeners. I think we're like the only community in the country to have done that, or certainly we're the first at the time. So really significant steps to reduce our discharge. Approval of this Basin Plan amendments are really the last step we need to get us fully on that path to compliance. I want to thank the Sanitation District for their extensive outreach to the business community. I want to support their efforts to continue to seek additional funding and reduce the costs through the innovative strategies that they have proposed, and I respectfully request your approval of the Basin Plan amendments. Thank you.
Thank you. Jean Duarte, tell me if I got that right, followed by Rob Roy from Ventura County Ag Water Coalition.
Good morning, Chair Marcus, board members. My name is Jeannie Duarte, and I'm here today representing SCV1 Water. SCV1 Water is a business-focused, stakeholder-driven coalition dedicated to fostering collaboration among the agencies involved in water resource management that will promote collaborative, innovative, cost-effective, and sustainable solutions to managing our watershed. Our steering committee is comprised of our local public agencies responsible for managing the resources in Santa Clarita Valley. As we continue to face more and more stringent regulations, the business community recognizes our role and how important it is for business to have a voice in water issues. Costs have a direct impact on the Santa Clarita Valley's economic health, which makes the business community an important stakeholder in developing sustainable water resource management. We actively support planning programs and projects that integrate surface water, groundwater, wastewater, and stormwater in the future plans for the region's water supply, while reducing our future reliance on water supplies conveyed through the Sacramento-San Joaquin Bay Delta. To date, Santa Clarita Valley has done a great job in addressing the chloride issue. However, we recognize that this is only one of many challenges we are to face as we move forward, with continuing drought conditions continuing to exacerbate our challenges. In support of an integrated approach to resource planning, the Santa Clarita Valley's water agencies are cooperating in the preparation of a local water resource reconnaissance study to identify water supply projects and programs that integrate the use of local groundwater, recycled water, and stormwater. This study right now is a 30,000-foot view of water resources in the Santa Clarita Valley and will provide the foundation for the future projects and programs needed to secure our water future. It's critical to our success that partnerships are forged with local businesses, residents, and water agencies, the city, the county, the regional board, the state board, to ensure that we obtain the best use of our investment with long-term integrated solutions that not only protect but enhance our watershed. SCV1 Water is working closely with the agencies to maximize the efficient use of our water. This proposed Basin Plan amendment will help advance the goals of SCV1 Water and put our water supplies into the best use possible. This will include the ability to utilize and recycle the high-quality treated water that will be produced as a result of the LA County Sanitation District's compliance program. We support the Basin Plan Amendment and the extension to the schedule. Thank you for your consideration, and we look forward to continuing to work with the local agencies, the Los Angeles Board, the State Board, to create a sustainable and holistic approach to water resource management in Santa Clarita Valley.
Thank you very much. Mr. Roy?
Good morning, Madam Chair. Board Member Spivey Weber, who I've known for many, many years in this project. I've been at this project for 10 years. It started in 2002 and have been before the LA Board 3 times successfully and 2 times successfully before this board. And in 2008 and 9, we thought we had a great agreement that was brought to us by the sanitation districts that was signed off as a new basin plan amendment by this board. Unfortunately, thereafter, when there was a Prop 218 vote, it was sabotaged by the Board of Directors of the Sanitation District, and there was a lack of funding to go forward under the chloride TMDL program. It wasn't until this board, the LA Board, assessed over $280,000 in penalties that suddenly we got the attention of the sanitation districts. I laud all the intentions and all the good faith of all the constituents within the cities of Valencia and Santa Clarita in moving forward right now. I think it's the right thing to do. I want to thank, all of the staff members that have put in so much time over the last 10 years to make this a reality. I'm here today on behalf of a coalition of over 1,000 farmers, Western growers, the Strawberry Commission, the Avocado Commission, over 400 businesses in Ventura County, United Water. This is probably the largest coalition that we've ever had in the history of this county because of the significance of this issue. We want to see this happen. Unfortunately, I don't agree with the EPA that this is a better fix than what we had in 2008. The 2008 was an entire watershed type of program that I think that would have extracted a lot of salt from the East Piru Basin and would have cleaned up the entire watershed. But that being as it is, there was a delay occasioned by the sanitation districts. We are now looking at a 4-year period of time to rectify that delay. We understand it. We reluctantly support that delay, but with the caveat that the benchmarks that are contained in this revised TMDL, we hope that when this board reviews the NPDS this coming year, that it vigorously will enforce those benchmarks in there and issue sufficient penalties to make sure that these benchmarks are reached. This program was to have been completed by May 5th of next year. Now we're looking at 4 additional years. So I thank you very much, and with that, we give our conditional support. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for that perspective, too. That concludes our comments, questions, or comments to staff from the other board members?
I can start.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, for staff, the point was brought up there that there was a plan in place, an alternative to do some basin cleanup. But I'd like to get a sense of, there's an overall push and pull to coming to the place we're at today, and there were compromises and there were gains. In this case, the last speaker brought up the point that the groundwater basin cleanup has been, I guess, shelved, but isn't there some benefit to the proposed course of action to these groundwater basins over time?
Yes, over time, the groundwater basins will be cleaned up as cleaner water enters the surface water and then infiltrates to the groundwater basin. But the 2008 TMDL would have resulted in faster groundwater cleanup because it included export of contaminated groundwater and would have resulted in faster cleanup.
Well, I certainly want to commend the efforts of the sanitation districts, engagement of the business community. It's pretty obvious that the value of water resources and in line with our governor's water action plan and our statewide goals of increasing self-reliance of water resources taking into account integrated water management is evident, and the fact that the business community was engaged and that the citizens of the valley were engaged in this endeavor speaks great volumes to the efforts of the sanitation districts recently. But I certainly want to commend our colleagues at the regional board, the staff, and the board members for bringing about this commitment that I'm seeing from a great number of entities here. In an area that I have to admit, with my father living downstream in Santa Paula, I have a personal connection to this watershed and belief in your efforts to protect water quality, not just in the Santa Clarita Valley, but for the whole Santa Clara River watershed. So with that, I'll let my colleagues ask any questions they have.
Any questions? Comments?
Their hard work. It sounds like it's been a very long haul, and I'll just say that it seems that the most lasting solutions are those that are arrived at as a result of a consensus. And so there probably is more that could have been done. Not everyone's happy, but it seems that this is what's going to be sustainable for the long-term future. And I just echo your comments about the California Water Action Plan. It sounds like you guys were just tearing a sheet right out of integrated water management. So good luck going forward.
I just want to say thank you. I have been working on this for a long, long time, or at least I've been following this. I can't say I've done the hard work because the staff at the regional board and the sanitation district and all the stakeholders have done the yeoman's work. But thank you.
Thank you. It's interesting that it's a very different tune than I remember from a couple of years ago. So obviously a lot of people have spent an awful lot of time. You're never going to get unanimity on anything, but just fascinating to see where you've all come and landed. Do I have a motion and a second?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Okay. It carries. Do we need to do a motion validating how great Michael Laufer is, just for the record? No. Michael, do you need validation today, or are you? No. That was a very nice thing to say. We actually always do appreciate people appreciating our staff because they rarely get praise in public, and they deserve it. Here's what I suggest. We're going to take a short break. We'll resume at 11:15, and then we have a very healthy agenda in front of us, not just the one big issue, but at least two. So come back ready to roll.